Oh. Hey, sorry about that. We're learning. We got 2 new platforms today. Sorry, I'm not right at the mic right now, but we got 2 new platforms today, and I'm trying to make the second one work. The first one already failed, already done. Not going to happen. And the tests went great. So I think there's a little bit of a learning curve to still be had somewhere between the chair and the keyboard. But wait, where am I? Trying to find a good thumbnail for the one that's going through my phone. Chatter is a new social audio program. And sorry, I got to look at these kind of close. And it's actually a good platform. I think, I hope they're listening. I hope the folks managing it do better with reaching out to people and staying in contact with people. They've been telling me about the desktop version of it where we can go right alongside of Twitter and in fact do even better, because now Twitter to stream on Spaces for since that desktop version came out. What do I got to do to launch this thing now? I guess it's launching. Start now. There we go. All right. Well, we're on Chatter. There we go. Check 1, 2. Okay. All right. Sorry. Back from commercial. Rough start. My apologies. I spent an entire weekend prepping for stuff like this. Does it go well? Well, here we are. It's 11:05 on 99.1. Thank you, folks, for your patience, by the way. You've been on the air waiting for me to get this thing started. Probably left by now. Sorry about that. 99.1 WDJY Atlanta. We're growing terrestrial stations as well. Later this week, I've got a meeting with 6 stations down here in Tampa. That'll give us connectivity from Sarasota almost all the way up to Tallahassee. Definitely, excuse me, coffee's on the way back up. Definitely beyond Brooksville. And on the way to Ocala, we're also targeting a station in Brooksville for later edition. And that would take us definitely up to Ocala, almost to Tallahassee, and definitely over to Orlando. We're almost to Orlando with this next group. So Pierre's Pot, we got that coming up. Mirror Mirror Monday will be in about 20 minutes. Marcella's going to be joining us. We've got a hangout for the WTAN update. I got to turn my phones down. My own voice is echoing in my head, and it's making me kind of slur my speech a little bit. WTAN update sometime towards the end of the show, by the end of the day. Got morning motivation. Got a great screensaver photo for us. Actually, I got that right now. Sorry about that. I had it out too. Oh my God. So we're doing a lot of growing, a lot of fast growing, some a little too fast for a one-man show. But today's morning motivation from somebody I put my life on the line for, Barack Obama. Oh, you know what? I should do that for those watching because I know there's some there. There we go. And let's do this. We did not come to fear the future. We came here to shape it. Yeah. I'm retired from the Secret Service, as you guys all know, but that doesn't mean that I'm finished doing things for my country, for my community. And you don't have to be Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, George W., because you know I am conservative too. I just watched a thing on Rush Limbaugh. Troubled, I think. Yeah, I wish a lot of what he did was a little less shock and a little bit more positive, because there certainly was opportunity for it. But he obviously will not be here to defend himself. Oh, it's connected? Stop it. We are actually on Instagram. Boom. There we go. Now, it's horizontal. I don't know. I would love to know if anybody could go to my Yergz, YERGZZ, two Z's on that one, and watch us there for a moment and let us know. Let me know. Chat. Give me a call. Give me a call. I gotta push this. I gotta start making that happen. 1-888-88 Yergz. I forgot him again. Oh, sorry. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, it's not on there. I have these sound effects, but they're not in the saved ones. Damn it. I gotta try to dig that up while I'm talking. 1-888-88 Yergz. Go to your Instagram account. Search for my personal profile, which is where we're broadcasting to today. It's Yergz, YERGZZ, two Z's. And see what we look like. But then also, because it's in landscape view, turn your phone to the side and see if it adjusts to the screen of your phone. My buddy Andrew, speaking of conservatives, shared this for us. Appreciate it. He's listening on Yergz Radio, so he can use his phone. I don't know if he's at work or what he's up to today. Because I know I just saw him do 2 pizza parties in one day for all of his staff. You know, that's kind of how we roll. Good to see that. But yeah, go to Yergz, YERGZZ on Instagram. Check us out there and see, if when you turn it, see if it goes. Let's see. Here we go. See if it goes. It fills your screen with everything that we're trying to do. If it fills the whole thing up. Okay. Now it's time to start having some fun. Oh, there's that one. Wait a minute. Why did I not? I'm clicking and dragging a bunch of things right now, and this one ain't working, which is really bumming me out. Now my mouse ain't working. That's awesome. Oh, this is killing me. This is seriously killing me. The one. Well, let's. I think it's that one.
Wake up, goddammit!
There we go. Petey Green from. I don't know why this froze all of a sudden. I didn't get a chance to load the. I didn't get a chance to load the Petey Green stuff. So I just had to click and drag it just now and try to get it to work, which it did. You know, two of them got in, but then the whole thing just froze. Yeah, that one. So everything, I just had to go to Task Manager and kick some things out and try to start it up again. All right, so anyway, we did not come to fear the future. We came to shape it. Think about everything you've already done in your life and ask yourself, are you finished? Or is there something else you could do? Or where are you needed? However big or small. You all know, because you paid at least a little bit of attention, I am not a fan of Trump. And the kicker is, I know plenty of other people who are not a fan of Trump, which I kind of find fascinating that his party still pretend, after all this, still pretends to be behind him. Why? I've been saying it. What you need to do is be like a sports team. You've got a young team. You've got, hold on, I'm checking in on some listeners. You've got a young team, and it's just not working. Meaning that they don't have the experience to get you to the playoffs. As an experienced coach, you know that. You're okay with that. Hey, Kansas. I'm just looking at the map for Yerg's Radio. Definitely checking in from Kansas and kind of Orlando-ish. Yep, that's Orlando. Two others in Orlando. What else we got? Savannah. That's cool. Get some of that conservative space. Maybe flip Georgia. Or, I don't know, basically keep it for Kamala. Where else? Wisconsin and Michigan. They're cool. Good. Welcome. All right, back to Barry. What else can you do? I'm retired. I make roughly gross $72,000 a year to not go to work. I make more to stay home than most all of my neighbors in a 2-income household. I don't need to do this. I can sell all this, pack it up, kick it out, use this third bedroom as the third bedroom that it was built for. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I think we should be doing when we've got people like Ron DeSantis in a second term that he's barely getting through. There's nobody a fan of this guy anymore. It's funny. He just recently tried to turn state parks into resorts. Preserved land into golf courses and pickleball courts with hotels on the property. And it turns out some of the motivation is not very American. It's not remotely friendly. His motivation for this is to keep tourists in certain areas because so many of the quote unquote locals are sick enough having to deal with the snowbirds that they don't want to have to deal with tourists as well. Keep in mind, I think it's something like 85%. I saw this. I got to find it. I'll get back to you. But it's a high percentage. Let's not put a number on it yet. Of the quote unquote permanent residents, natives, if you will, of Florida, are in fact not natives of Florida. They're first, second, maybe third generation. So your grandkids. Yeah, maybe your kids and your grandkids were born here, but they're still going to, if that were my grandkids, kids and grandkids that were born here, they would still have, just from me, Pennsylvania, Northerner, Yankee behaviors. So for these people to be saying they don't want Northerners down here, my neighbor said it. He's from Ohio. I told him, like, dude, you ain't a Southerner. Just because you're a hick and a redneck doesn't make you a Southerner. And he knows I was busting his balls. And I don't really care. And so we left. But there are people who live their lives seriously like that they think, oh, well, I'm here now. This is my only residence. I know everything there is to know about Florida. I'm still learning certain nuances. I've been here 3 years, and I'm kind of good at paying attention. That's what I did for 21 years. So DeSantis tries to corral tourists by turning state parks into resorts. Golf, pickleball, and hotels. And of course, that's going to be able better track tourism dollars and tax it. Well, tourism in Florida is growing, regardless of the pissing match that he wants to get in with a mouse that he's losing. And regardless of banning, he's already banned books about people like Harriet Tubman and Jackie Robinson. And don't forget, slavery was job training for black people. Wow. And there was an overwhelming bipartisan ass kicking, public kind of an ass kicking, in that they didn't want it. The people of Florida, whatever your ancestry, did not want their state parks turned into a golf course. So when that happened, the developer got wind of it and smacked their hands together, washed them up, and said, peace out. They didn't want to have anything to do with it, which is good. DeSantis says, okay, it's off the table for now. But he's already recruited, I forget which one of the two old guys, Nicholas or Palmer. I forget. One of those two. And Tiger Woods to help design the golf courses when this becomes an issue again. I'm thinking, don't you have the information you need? It should not be an issue again. You've got it. They don't want it. Do something with fishing. We've got and I don't know if you've caught this episode, but I've recently decided that due to today's motivation and my expertise in a lot of the things we talk about, or my ability to do the homework to learn more about a lot of the things we talk about, I'm not going to remain totally impartial with regards to political candidates. I'm not already, and I haven't been, and that was for good reason. Trump, DeSantis, Ramaswamy, we've been against them pretty much from the beginning. Ramaswamy had to open his mouth a little bit more to prove that he shouldn't be opening it at all. But I could see that I knew, because I protected the guy, Trump was not worth it. He's a fascist, period. End of discussion. Don't argue. Forget about the Secret Service. Forget about radio. That's my background as an education, is political science. There's a Howard Stern moment. It's a holiday, people. Don't expect manners. I'm going to be getting drunk and eating burgers and whatever my neighbors are cooking up. Oh, God damn it. Where was I? Oh, Andrew's checking in. Oh, no. Valves, by the way. We're just talking about Ron DeSantis. Oh, that's what it was. Hey, thanks for that, man. Lady, ma'am, whoever. Somebody checking in from, which one is that? Not Twitter. It's one of the It's like, well, the one that all the radio stations are on. It's Twitch. That's it. And Andrew says he's listening on web. Judging by the picture and the fact that you're able to text, that's Facebook. So you're probably on my personal page or my professional page. Glad to have you all. So DeSantis, he already got shot down. The people of Florida do not want golf courses around the state on what should be public lands. No, I'm on homepage. Okay. Just so you're with us. We welcome libtards, maggots, normal progressives, normal conservatives. Oh, you're on the Yerg's Radio website, Andy? Because you're texting and it comes up with a Facebook logo. But I don't care. I'm just glad you're here. And so, yeah, I'm thinking about, I'm going to say, here's who I'm behind. But Andy's hopping on Facebook to message me. You've been messaging me for the past 25 minutes. Oh yeah, he did say to take the Barack Obama pick down too. I mean, that's, he's a conservative. Of course he's going to say that. Yeah, I had to remember that my camera's on today too. I had to take the overlay away earlier. This one. So a lot of the logos I do, I will take them down now for a second. A lot of the logos I do are Illuminati-esque. In other words, there's a secret meaning behind everything. For those of you that got a screen, you see, of course, the American flag in the background. Most of the other, I shouldn't say that, some of the other logos, the blue square of the American flag that's in the background is on the right side, as though you're looking at it and it's moving forward. And I just got to send a link to Marcella here. But, there it's on that side because that's the usual. The microphones in each corner, one is red, one is blue. The arrows, blue on the left, red on the right. Again, that and the microphones, illustrating the political spectrum. Up the middle is in purple, which is the color of some states when they're both Republican and Democrat, as is, the mixing of red and blue colors. The Mastiff dog head in the middle is the logo for Mastiff Media that we just put together. We might freshen it up with, other graphic artists, do something with it. The eyes are blue. No Mastiffs have blue eyes. But I went with blue eyes because I wanted them to stand out. It looks a little possessed. But that shade of blue is also, let's see if I have one. See if I have one in anything here. No, I don't have anything that's got that up. But maybe. No, it's not on that logo. Oh, here we go. If you see the logo that's up in the corner now, that shade of blue in the triangle, which is the parent company of our parent company, the Yerger Group, that's the color of the portions of the blue in the triangle. It's also representative of the law enforcement community. Blue is a color, thin blue line. You see it on the American flag now, or just the original black rectangle with the blue line going through it. So that's that. And in the process, we're using that, Mastiff Media, the Yerger Group, Shea Yergs, to shape the future and to improve it and to keep our country a democratic republic and not a fascist one. You can do the same thing. You can be a conservative. You can be a Republican and not be an asshole. And I've said that before. It's kind of one of my more popular quotes. Not because it's, well, I mean, because I think it hits home with a lot of people. And Andy's latest here, where is it? Yeah. He says, wait, you're showing an American flag and you're liberal? I'm both. I'm liberal on plenty of things, but I am more conservative than so many of you on others. That's just not only how I'm wired, but how I think most people are. We got another one that says, you're talking a lot. This is a talk show. Speaking of talking, we got somebody else to talk to. That's actually who texted me. Marz is up. Let's bring. Hey, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
It's time for Mirror Mirror Monday. Of course, you sound great.
Thank you. How are you?
Sure, sorry. How's everything with you? I'm well.
Always fabulous. You know that.
Good. That's key. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Marz. Marcella is my co-host on another show that is on vacation right now for the summer. We're both organizing some things, and then we'll be back sometime this fall, right? I mean, when are you thinking?
You know, I was thinking this week, but then I remembered that I have plans next week. I'm going to Montauk. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to have a couple of days in Montauk with a friend. I could technically record from there.
And that's another question. Do you want to just record now, or do you want to stay live?
I don't mind being live. What about you?
I'm fine. It just would be in the afternoon now.
Yeah. Yeah. Next Thursday I'll be in Montauk. So you let me know. I can record from there. We can have a guest if you like. You tell me.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that. Let's talk about let's talk about being a psychic. That's the purpose of Mirror Mirror Monday. We promote my co-host, Marcella. You can go to marcella.com, MARCC, 2 C's, ELLA.com. Get a tarot reading done. I'm telling you, this girl, wow. This young lady knows her stuff. I almost said another S word, but I got to behave.
Oh, will you get bleeped out?
No, we don't have a delay. I mean, we do on some of the platforms, but it's not where I can stop it. You know, it's not a 7-second delay, as we all know that to be.
Well,
so you had a pretty good reading with a client, I think, last week. How's everything been going?
Well, I've had quite a few really good readings, and
nice.
I not just started. I've often realized that when I walk into a room, there are synchronicities between myself and other people there, and it's because I choose my spaces carefully. I don't always choose partners that carefully, but I choose my spaces very carefully. Who I surround myself with.
I feel you.
That's another whole story in and of itself that I don't think I want to discuss here.
That's fine.
Ladies, be careful and reach out to me. I'll tell you if they're good or bad.
Okay.
But and gentlemen, I read everybody, you know that. So I've had quite a bit. I had someone reach out recently, and I always laugh because people feel entitled to our abilities. And while I know that it is a gift from the universe or the creator, whoever you want to
Right.
subscribe to, I also know that at times I can gift it to others. But there is a young woman who reached out to me, and it was actually pretty funny because I sat there saying, what are they asking me? And it went like this. Hey, Marcella, are you a medium as well to connect with people who have passed on? And I looked at that, and I hate titles. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I
Right.
really just
Yeah,
hate
that's why
titles.
I always cringe when I call you a psychic, because
I
that's the
don't know
one that
any
you
other
bless.
way. Right. I don't know any other way to describe it. And
Yeah.
for transparency with others, I always say, yes, I'm psychic because I don't know how else to describe it. I'm sensitive. I received a gift where that allows me to read people, to know things without digging because I don't like to dig. I'm too lazy to do that. So I said, yes, if you want to call me that, I'm a medium. And then they asked me, how does that work? And I sat there and I said, you know what? I never even thought about it. So I said, are you
Wow.
looking for someone to channel? Because I also do not channel. I don't like channels.
Yeah,
And
that freaks me out too.
yeah, well, for me, a channel is to come through me. And I'm not
Yeah.
coming, they're not coming through me. I'm speaking to them. Think of me as an interpreter.
Right.
I like to say I'm more of an interpreter. And they said, well, I was thinking of my parents. But honestly, I'm scared. So that's why I was just asking. But I also know that this person has no intention of paying. So the answer is no. I am not a medium for you. And I know that they're going to be a bit disappointed, which is perfectly okay with me. It's a
But I mean,
business.
what do they think you're here for?
Andrew Gilfillan. Who is that?
That's my buddy Andy. I can't pronounce his last name either.
Is it Gilfillan?
I mean, that's I would say that or Gilfilan, only because there's
Andrew.
one.
Can you
There's only
please
one
type your
L in
name
the second.
in the chat?
Oh no, there's two. He's got 4 L's in his name.
Good for him.
Yeah, I'll ask him.
And
He's
2 eyes.
one of our resident conservatives.
Oh, hello, Andrew. Andrew says, sign me up. What do you want to be signed for? You want a spiritual cleansing? I can do that. Where are you located?
He's down in like the St. Pete Clearwater area.
Gilfillan. Gilfillan. I was close. Gilfillan. Too many ills.
Now we know.
Andrew is going to have to reach out and tell me what kind of spiritual cleansing. Have you ever had one before, Andrew? Gilfillan. See that, Ross? That's all you needed for me to come on here and tell you how to pronounce your friend's name.
And let's go back to this one. Yeah, a spiritual cleansing.
You had one last week and you want another one?
Oh, he did. This is the one. This is a girl I told you about. Yeah, he said he did have. I think it was cards.
You're okay. And Andrew, can you just reach out to me? And you got to tell me how long you want this reading, because we need to do a reading first. And if there is a cleansing, I'll need something of yours and I can keep you safe. Who told you you're cursed?
The guy in San Diego.
The guy in San Diego? Okay.
Oh, I dated a Colombian.
We'll have a conversation.
I was engaged.
You were engaged to a Colombian person?
Yeah,
Why?
Colombian Cuban.
No,
Hot.
let's leave the Cubans alone. Just stay away from them.
He was hot.
It was hot.
Once we got the whole ring thing going, I felt like I was working for him.
His friends are into witchcraft. Okay, Andrew. Well, guess what? You just met a shaman.
Yeah,
So,
she Marz is the real deal. The readings I've had, like, oh my God. I mean, it's like it happened already. She just told me what happened. That's how accurate she is. You can
well,
call now, actually.
you want to call in? We can have a mini conversation here, and then we'll connect offline.
There's the numbers. We are actually started. There we go. Give up with that one. Why did that not go? There we go. 1-888-88 Yergs or 1-844
Guy on the phone
gay
was good.
LGBT.
I
Those
like this
are my
guy.
phone numbers.
We're not going to do anything in front of hundreds of people. We're going to talk. You get to hear my voice right now. I want to hear your voice.
But yeah, you can schedule, and you can find her number or whatever. What is your preferred when a client reaches out to you through Marcella.com?
It's too much dirty laundry. Well, I am on Facebook as well. He can message me over there.
Oh, that's what you were saying. You ain't doing. I thought you were saying he ain't doing it in front of hundreds of people.
I don't know.
Hundreds.
I respect everybody's. Shut up. Don't say that. We're going to manifest that. Thousands. He's not going to do it in front of thousands of people. Okay. Well, I am on.
Yeah, no, we are actually growing.
Well.
I'm happy with it.
Look for me on Ross's page. It's too much dirty laundry. I have too much dirty laundry. I've got to get it done this week. I don't mind dirty laundry.
Yeah, we all got it.
So, yeah, that's me. That's me. So funny because we just talked to the creator of that page, and we're going to be expanding on the sections where we offer services. So we're going to have a section for Luna's tarot when she creates her tarot deck. We're going to have a section for her crystals. What else are we having a section for? Do you remember?
Another very bright person is Marcella's daughter, Luna.
Did you listen to her interview?
What's that?
Did you listen to her interview?
No. Where is it?
It's on Sonia Chan's podcast.
Yeah.
On the Spectrum with Sonia. Luna was interviewed 2 weeks ago about her autism and the business. We didn't dive too much into the business, if I remember correctly. We talked a lot about Luna's autism.
Yeah.
So I thought about it and I said, we've got to get Luna on our show. Luna, would you let Mommy and Uncle Ross interview you? Okay. She says, okay.
Yeah, you can find On the Spectrum with Sonia. I spelled it wrong. It's Sonia, not YA. Yep. On the Spectrum with Sonia podcast series is on Apple, Buzzsprout, a bunch of others here coming up on the search. So wherever you get your podcasts, you can hear
political predictions. Like your friend obviously does not know anything about me.
Oh, what's he saying?
He wants to know political predictions.
Nope. We don't go there with Marz.
No, we don't. I do not do the whole politics thing. I vote for myself. I go into the ballot box, the ballot booth, I write my name, and I check it off.
Do you get any kind of notification then that
you've asked me that before?
I've never for president or
no, I don't. And so it's funny because my father said he voted for himself once too. And I said, well, I wouldn't vote for you. So I asked him for his vote. Yeah, everyone would have to have an altar. in their house, I would have Secret Service go check it. Ross, you'd have your job back.
No, no, I'll leave the country.
How dare you? If I was president, you would leave the country?
I am not going back to that life.
Did you hear that? Uncle Ross would leave the country if mommy was president. That's
Only
so.
if you made me go to the Secret Service.
Well, you want to be one of my advisors?
That I can do.
Oh, so funny, Ross. I was telling someone I was coming to the show. I said, I've got to go. I can't talk long. I have to go and support Ross. And he goes, oh, your LGBTQ show? And at first I stopped and I said, what is he talking about? And then I started to laugh. And I said, yes, our LGBTQ show. And I said, do you support the LGBTQ community? And he says to me, well, Marcella. And I said, no, just answer the question. And he says, I support them in their right to live peacefully and freely. I couldn't ask for anything more because he's a foreigner.
But is he like anti-gay personally?
I
Just
don't
saying that's
know.
nice.
You know, I never really asked him because I said, you know, I'm not really a member of that community as far as, he says, but you support them. I said, yes, I absolutely do support them. As a matter of fact,
Yeah, this is my beef too. You mean the A B C D E F G H I J K L G B T? Yeah, that's why I get the whole introduction or usage by the younger generations of the word queer. There needs to be one name that's encompassing. Like it used to be the gay community. But then the lesbians wanted to be lesbians and not gays. Bisexuals didn't want to be gay. They wanted to be bisexual. Let's go down the line. Then there's trans and now queer. And there's other letters after that. And I'm like, Jesus, here we are, a demographic, flapping our yap about wanting to be accepted for who we are. And we're the first ones to segregate. And I just find a name. I just can't use queer because growing up, that was not a compliment. That was,
I know.
I mean, it's like, it's like the F word. The small cigarettes in the United Kingdom.
Someone said that word the other day, and I said to them, I do not like that word. Please do not repeat it in my presence. And then, of course, I've got to allow everybody to be themselves. But, I held the status of elder in my community. You're not going to speak that way in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that about you, that you've got, well, not maybe the balls, but the tits to speak up about it.
Wow. Luna's listening.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Earmuffs, Luna. Earmuffs.
Don't repeat anything Uncle Ross says.
The courage. What I guess I probably should have said in the first place.
The thing is that she listens to us in Negative Vibes on Fridays. And usually if I curse in front of her, I turn around. Luna, what does mommy usually say? Say it louder. Don't repeat anything mom says. Did you hear her?
No, what'd she say?
Don't repeat anything mom says.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got my friends doing it too. If they hear Luna speaking, they all go, Luna, don't listen to mommy. Don't repeat anything she says.
Don't listen to mommy's phone.
She's, you know what? She's probably heard worse from me, Ross. But I still would like everyone else to be respectful of her. She just smiles. She says, I live in New York. Of course, I'm hearing worse.
Yeah. Fair point.
Fair point. Well, so tell me, what else would you like to know?
Well, actually, that's good for this week because I got to take a break and then I got to do the morning motivation. Oh, no, wait. I did that. I did. Okay, cool.
Morning motivation.
Well, now we're on schedule. I thought I was behind.
I think that we should set up a meeting with all of your political friends where I don't talk politics with them, but make predictions for them.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for that, though. You can go to marcella.com, MARCCELLA.com. Schedule an appointment worth every penny. And then check back here every Monday for Mirror Mirror Mondays. That's the whole mirror mirror on the wall. Are we getting that? Is the reference pretty clear?
I hope they do.
I liked it. And then what was the other one? I was going to have you on Wednesdays for like Witchy Wednesdays or something like
Witchy
that.
Wednesdays. We could do that if you wanted me to come on for a little bit. Who do you talk to on Wednesdays?
It's the same show. It's only 1 hour.
Oh, it's 1 hour, so I can come on for 10 minutes and be totally witchy. I'll tell them all about the new stuff we're doing on the site.
Yeah. You mean that's all happening on marcella.com, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're still building it. Like, there is an option to pay for readings on the site currently. However, we're going to be building it out, like I said, where we'll have a section for Luna's crystals. We'll have a section for the tarot decks. We'll have a section for the classes that I'm giving. Also, spiritual work. I learned some really wonderful things growing up to help people with cleansing, inner child healing, and bonding and breaking curses. So we'll have all of those things listed there. It's just a process of learning how to create these pages. And I want to learn how to do it myself so that I don't have to pay anybody in the long run, even though the young man who built my page is brilliant.
Nice.
Oh, well, thank you, Andrew. I like my voice too.
You have a sexy 50 Shades of Grey voice?
No. I have the sexy Marcella voice.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe are you saying audiobook? Maybe that's
Should
the
I
voice.
read an audiobook? I'm supposed to be reading Isaac Betancourt's book. Remember Isaac talked about the cows? Yeah. I'm going to have to call him. You know what? I'm going to text him.
FBI guy, right?
The FBI guy. He was a hostage negotiator.
Yeah.
I know lots of interesting people. I want to find out what Andrew's thing is.
He was in TV news.
Really?
And he just started a type in what it is, Andy. Red, white, and blue.
How do you know, Andrew?
Through Facebook. We've never actually met in person, just like you and me. But we talk quite a bit because of his being in TV news, and now getting out of that and doing a career change too.
I see.
But he's got a there we go, Project Red, White, and Blue. Check that out on Facebook. If you are
going to do that.
Not you, yeah, because I know not your thing. But if you're a political conservative, check that out. And Andy's one of the moderators and, well, the owner of the group site and page. And he's also starting the Patriot. That's the one I was trying to think of. Patriot podcast. I love how all the conservatives think they're the ones out of the Patriots.
I guess we'll see about that. Yeah. All right. Well, I've got to go take care of our favorite girl. So, Andrew, I will be looking for your message. Please go ahead and add me, and I will add you back, and we'll talk.
Yeah.
Ross, my love.
Hi, my dear.
Your husband. See you soon.
Yep. Have a good holiday. Are you off today from everything else? School and such?
Well, she starts school on Thursday, so I will be.
Oh, okay.
I'll be hanging out with her.
Nice.
All right. See you later.
Enjoy. Love you, sweetie.
Love you.
All right. There she goes. Marcella, MARCCELLA.com for the most accurate tarot. And I don't know that I can't remember the first time if it was she doesn't necessarily need the tarot cards. But she likes having something relative to that, to the whole message in her hands. And so that's an obvious decision, an obvious choice. So, yeah, definitely do that, Andrew. Message her, and you're not going to be disappointed. Because liberals don't like American flags. No, that's a there's not as many liberals that fly the American flag at their home as conservatives. That's an actual statistic. But I don't know that they don't like the American flag. That's a little too all-encompassing. All right, gang, I've got to take a break, and we're going to lose 99.1 WDJY in a couple of minutes. So, actually, no, we're not. Today's Monday, and it's a 2-hour day in Atlanta. You're stuck with me for another hour. But we will be losing America One Radio. That is the progressive, sorry, Andy, that is the progressive station in Atlanta that also airs us. We only do an hour with them every day. And also, there's the station in London we've been having technical issues with all last week. I got a note into the manager of the station, and they're going to look at our connection and see why. And we're only on one day live in London, but we're supposed to be, we don't have a way to share files for the other 4 days, but we're supposedly doing all 5 days a week. So we'll figure that out, do better. Meanwhile, in the next hour, we'll talk about the WTAN update and how we're expanding through Florida and soon coming to a neighborhood near you. 1159 99.1 WDJY. We're up the middle. And the Mastiff Media Network will be back after these words. Wrong profile. All right, maybe we're not going anywhere yet. Just kicking my ass today. There's one.
Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yerg's. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yerg's and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yerg's Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, @yergs.com. news, N-E-W-Z, at yergz.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle.
Hi, gang. Oh, I turned that up during the commercial. So in the next hour, we're going to discuss further Arlington and the mess that happened last week. I said a little bit of already, if you remember last week when we talked about it, I think there was one episode right after it happened where it was just me. And then we talked about it briefly on Friday with Matt and Blake. But I did look some things over. I did find, oh, well, that's a little psychedelic, isn't it? Just playing with the backgrounds. I did find the actual law that both Trump and his staff broke. And yes, they did break federal law. But first, kind of a bit of an overview, and as always, the links to this information will be in the show notes. Show notes are available at yergs.com. Do I have that website up? I mean, like, of all websites. Yeah, that's kind of important, isn't it? So I'm looking for sources on this that I know they're going to be considered liberal, or, if it was a conservative one that had actual accurate information, I would have jumped all over that. But you'll notice I couldn't find the story on Fox News. At least not a lot of it. NPR, Vox, that's Vox with a V, Vox.com. That's an abbreviation for vocals. And so I guess the play on words of sorts are I got to put that on another one. There's audio with this one article from NPR. I wanted to play that too. It was a good 3 minutes. So here's what NPR dug up about it. I think. So I used a different browser, and there's nothing coming out of this. Is it muted? No, there it is. Like, why? I don't get it. I just want stuff to work. So back to reading myself. So the whole thing about the military is that they're an impartial entity within the government. For example, when the Joint Chiefs go to the State of the Union address. Whether they agree or disagree, they don't respond. They just sit there, they listen. God love them, they stay awake. And it's supposed to be that and the Supreme Court. As such, the president is not to address them because of that impartiality. Now, yeah, they work for him, and that's great. But on a professional level, and more importantly, on a political level, they are to remain apolitical. Trump changed that, and that he goes shaking hands, and he's the word that's been used most frequently is that he's transactional. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, you scratch mine again, a couple more times, and we'll call it even. For maybe he scratched your back once, maybe. And now he's shaking hands with the Joint Chiefs who never liked him. And it wasn't because, he's an outsider. It was because when you stand on the South Lawn, turn around and say to the media, I know more than all of the Joint Chiefs. Trust me. What? I think there's a very normal reaction to that.
First of all, what?
Yeah, what?
What?
Yeah, first of all. And I get, that's both shorts, damn it. I got Obama on here. I've got to, there's different things on this deck that I use for radio that is connected to everything else. And hear it on the video, etc. Well, the ones that stay from one show to another, there's 8 spots, and I've got them all filled, but one of them, I've got Obama up there twice. The theme song's up there. Some things from Saturday Night Live with Mike Myers and Linda Richman. Like here's one.
Again, butter. Never. Okay, let's take a call. The number is
1-888-88 Yergs. See what I did there?
Welcome to Coffee Talk. Cool, we'll talk. No big whoop.
The section there where she gives the 555 number, I have blocked out and the volume off for that section, so I can give the 888 number. It's a proud moment in my editing skills or lack thereof. And then there's 2 turntables, and actually there's 4, but they don't stay from one show to another. They clear as soon as you shut down this platform. So anyway, I wanted to have PD Green up there too. The Army is impartial. The military is impartial. The court is supposed to be impartial. And I was so glad to see the Army stick up for this employee who, by the way, is today's Pierre's Pot. I kind of forgot about that. Now it's already... Well, it's Pierre's Pot. It's not morning. That's okay. We can do this a little later. Got to get to the right one, though. That would help. Why are my overlays not there? Because it's the wrong one. There it is. There we go. Pierre's Pot. Yeah, there's pot in the background. Very colorful. I loved that when I saw it. But this is a toast today of the morning sauce. There's a rainbowish cup today. Toast in the morning sauce to the anonymous employee of Arlington National Cemetery who put up with Trump's staff and the ignorant a-hole that said she had a mental disability or a mental episode. It is, and just like any profession, there's so many staffers that I loved working with. They got it. They knew we had a job to do too. And they know that they're on some level, what we're doing has a priority because you're dealing with somebody's life. But some of these people just think they're the president themselves. And we have to deal with those people. And this young lady, whoever she is, from Arlington National Cemetery, and I don't know if she's actually active duty with the Army or just because the Army is the oversight of the cemetery that they stand behind her, and it's just a one voice policy kind of thing that the cemetery isn't commenting to. But I was very glad to see them stand behind her throughout this incident. As always, because of their impartiality, they're not saying much. They're not giving a lot of detail in their statement, unlike the asshat from Trump's communication guy or whoever it was that said about the mental and that they had. And this is what these people don't get. They find this little bit. This is a perfect example of one of the things I've said so many times. You learn a little bit and you think you know a lot. A little learning is a dangerous thing. You learn a little bit and you think you know a lot. And they found something, I promise you this is how it was. They found something that said they were permitted to go onto the property with a camera crew. And I found it. I've got it. It's here in my show notes. I got some other things we got to try to get to today, but I don't remember which one's which. But I've got I forget what CFR stands for. I got to pull one of these up so I can. I've got 4 links to the various laws. It's actual law. It's not like, oh, you should probably do it this way or that way. No, this is how you're going to do it. This is federal law. Somewhere in here too. There's something with the CFR stood for. And now I can't find it. So 553.32. This is a law now. Conduct of memorial services and ceremonies. Section C, or Part C, or Item C, however you describe the breakdown of this. Memorial services and ceremonies at Army National Military Cemeteries, such as Arlington National, will not include partisan political activities. Donald Trump is a former president. He has no business on Arlington Cemetery laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, taking a camera crew into Section 60. All of that is a political stunt to get him notoriety and probably to cause people like Kamala Harris and company to bitch about it. I'm saying the American people are sick of it. Kamala has moved on. Other people have commented and moved on. And I just think many of the voters will have learned their lesson from 2016 and really even 2020, at least during the part of the campaign itself, that this is not who we want. Yeah, there's still the misogynist. Yeah, there's still the a-holes of the world. I still hear I still hear myself in my headphones, and it's something to get used to. I usually turn the volume down a little bit so it's less of an echo. So that's that one. Then in D, private memorial services may be closed to the media and public as determined by the decedent's primary next of kin. So the dead soldier's family determines if there should be media coverage or not. And I promise you, that's what the staff found. But, and I don't know where this one is. I think it's like one of the bottom ones. But one of the sections of C, conduct within Army National Military Cemeteries. Army National Military Cemeteries are a national shrine to the honored dead of the armed forces, and certain acts and activities which may be appropriate elsewhere are not appropriate in the Army National Military Cemeteries. All visitors, including persons attending, or taking part in memorial services and ceremonies, shall observe proper standards of decorum and decency while in an Army National Military Cemetery. Specifically, no person shall conduct any memorial service or ceremony within an Army National Military Cemetery without the prior approval of the executive director. Did you have approval of the executive director to bring those cameras? And this is where people stop. They found in part 0.32 that you can do it. And you think, okay, the end. Let's go. This is the problem with federal law, is that you have to keep reading, but you don't know where you have to keep reading to. Another one, engage in any orations, speeches, or similar conduct to assembled groups of people unless such actions are part of the memorial service or ceremony authorized by the executive director. Filming, political, it's not going to be authorized. I thought there might have been some other stuff. I don't know if they had like a loudspeaker or if it was just recording equipment for audio or if they even had audio. But operate a musical instrument, loudspeaker, or an audio device without a headset within an Army National Military Cemetery. And then finally, number 16, engage in any disrespectful or disorderly conduct within an Army National Military Cemetery. When an employee comes up to you and says, you're not allowed to have that here, you don't argue. So many of these people are so damn entitled. And here is 553.35, media. All officials and staff of the media are subject to the visitors rules enumerated in 553.33. There's 16 things that we just read, and shall comply with the Department of the Army's media policy, which is written prior permission. If you'd have had written prior permission to go to Section 60 or any others besides the Tomb of the Unknown, actually, it's Tombs of the Unknowns, you'd have known it because you would have had an actual piece of paper saying so. And yet they laid hands on this employee. So today's Pierre's Pot. We even still have that. Yeah, there it is. Pierre's Pot still on the overlay screen. Today's toast is to you, to a bunch of us anonymous employees who do what we do every day, whether you're working in a cemetery, which, let's be honest, as beautiful as the grounds are kept, that can't be a fun or happy place to work. It's not. It can't. There's no way. And they do it every day. I've seen the quarters that the guards live in. The tombs of the unknown are guarded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 52 weeks out of the year. Christmas Day, only on certain extremely severe weather do they post inside. There's a barracks built into the tomb. I'm not kidding you. There is a living quarters for the honor guard that is assigned to So I was checking some other messages. The honor guard that's assigned to the tombs of the unknowns. And only like hellishly frigid weather or a hurricane coming through that area instead of down here in Florida do they get pulled out. Other inclement weather, there's a booth that they can stand in. Otherwise, they pace back and forth, and there's a number. I think it's like 27 paces. It's 20 some. I don't remember the actual amount, but there's a set number of paces from point A to point B. You transition your weapon from one side to the other, which is a live weapon, by the way. It might look pretty as all get out, but those are real bullets. And then you turn around and 20 whatever paces back. Talk about probably a little less than exciting. At least they get to pace back and forth. At least they get a beautiful view. God love them. I've been in basements, stairwells for hours without relief. They're at least out there on a schedule and back inside. So of two platforms, we are now on Instagram. I mean, actually finish up, so whether you're that employee who was shoved, pushed, whatever the Army's not saying because the female employee is not pressing any charges. I think we all knew that was coming. Oh no, where is that at? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. There we go. But I'm hoping the Army took care of her. Some extra paid days off, cash reward or something. Because, yeah, it's what they do. It's part of their job. But let's be honest, it shouldn't have had to happen. And she stuck it out anyway. So people like her, the guards, my colleagues that miss Christmas, birthdays, wedding anniversaries, those lying in the tombs and graves of Arlington and cemeteries around the world. Because as Trump knows, because he didn't go there, we have one in France too. Not that he would know. Again, because he didn't go there. There's a big, beautiful one along 405 in LA. I could tell at first because, again, it was all identical headstones. And then I looked it up, and it is a national cemetery. But to them, to perhaps a star on a wall in one of our government office buildings, honoring people that made a similar sacrifice. Many cases, anonymously there too. Or at least that's why it's just a star on the wall, is because it's a story that can't be told except to those with the clearance. Today's toast of the morning sauce will always be in your direction. Thanks for what you do. So we almost transitioned to it. I don't know how I skipped it, or I know I had to come back to finish my speech. But when we come back, we're going to talk about DeSantis. I know his last name is DeSantis, but I changed the second part of it to Santos, like George Santos, because they have a lot in common. Stonewall National Museum banned from the Visit Florida website when we come back.
From iHeart Podcasts.
What in the hell is going on in here?
Everyone has their limits.
I'd never confronted a situation like this.
The numbers were being inflated and lied about and conflated.
I just thought it was just a really terrible, immoral thing for him to do.
A line they won't cross.
I was stunned, and I just said to him, no.
We're killing people. What exactly are we doing here?
I remember him saying, in this 007 evil villain kind of way, this is the beginning of a process.
You may never have to face that decision. When you find yourself at that line,
Thoughts racing, hearts racing, emotions are all over the place.
They could be harassed, they could be imprisoned, they could be killed.
Somebody needs to just, for once, give everybody the whole truth.
I'm like, this is evil.
and the only person who can sound the alarm is you.
She folded it up, put it in her pantyhose, and walked out of the building.
Yeah, I really am the world's dumbest criminal.
These are the whistleblowers.
I wasn't just going to sit silently by.
I was told you take your questioning black self and get it on up out of my facility because you're trouble.
The message is, if you are disloyal, if you speak out, you will pay.
This is what it's like when the president decides he wants to destroy you.
Bad things are going to happen to him. You're anti-American. You are a disgrace to our country. He should be processed.
When power corrupts, conscience is the last line of defense.
Is it ever too late to do the right thing?
We talk about institutions, but they're really about individual people.
The responsibility drops in everybody's lap.
I'm Miles Taylor. The Whistleblowers premieres Thursday, July 13th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Check out Miles Taylor and the Whistleblowers. I've referenced that plenty of times throughout Up the Middle, Both Sides Now, and Yerg's Tonight. He does an excellent job telling the stories of various people who blew the whistle on the Trump administration and their reasons why, personal and professional, as well as the consequences that these people paid to get the truth to the public. Check out the Whistleblowers on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The July date that he mentioned is from 2023, and season 1 is complete. It's excellent, and it's still very relevant, probably now more than ever. So I certainly recommend that you give it a look. See you again.
Wow, that was a fast 3 minutes. Here's the rest of them.
Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yerg's. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yerg's and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yerg's Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, at yergs.com. News, N-E-W-Z, at yergz.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle.
Hey, gang. So, until I get a splitter, I've got my earbuds draped over my studio mic. And now you're hearing it ding because I'm bumping it. I got my earbuds draped over my studio mic because, like I said, the other platform we're on is Chatter. And it's only a mobile device. It is some social audio that's it. So, to be live the entire time, like when I'm off with commercials, I got to take my headphones off, put the mic from the earbuds inside the headphones, and that is how they get the commercials on Chatter. They've got a desktop version that's in beta. I talked to the CEO of the company. He said he was going to get it. This company bigwig and that company bigwig said, text me, I'll set you up. And now I'm almost covering the entire state of Florida and London and anywhere else you want to learn about the show and listen online. And you're still in beta. Anyway. Banned. I saw an article about this earlier, like last week or maybe even week before last. And this is DeSantis. Visit Florida, and it's not going to be an actual link there because this is a screenshot. But Visit Florida is the website for the state of Florida and tourism, where they don't talk about golf courses in state parks. We talked about that earlier. And they wake up one day and just suddenly there's nothing for the LGBT community on the website. Zero. Keep in mind, as you're going to learn when I read the letter to the CEO of the site, these are paid services that various city parks, museums, concert venues, whatever, pay to be on. It's a pay to play. It's not really promoting what is considered to be the best tourism that Florida has to offer. I I got to be honest, I will be shocked if Disney's on there, because his gut wrench for Disney is that bad. Visit Florida.com. Let me hold on. Get back to this. We'll come back to that in a second. This replacing never works, but I'm going to try it. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So here is the Visit Florida website. This is a site that the Stonewall National Museum and Archives and Library used to be on. Nothing there about the LGBT community. That's in beaches, places to go. Central. Okay. That looks like something Disney oriented. Central Florida was particularly built with fun in mind, starting with the theme parks of Orlando, Kissimmee, and Winter Haven. But that's just the beginning. You can also visit the rodeo in Arcadia, tube or paddle the aptly named Rainbow River in Dunellen, or discover the charms of eclectic Mount Dora. That's it. So I'm scanning this quickly in the interest of time. Apopka, Arcadia, Bartow. Yes, Pennsylvanians, it's pronounced like that, Bartow. Dunellen, Kissimmee, Lakeland. Nothing. Lake Buena Vista. Okay. That's it. So apparently they are enough realization of the tax revenue brought in by Disney. There are plenty of various, a lot of it is in an area called Lake Buena Vista, the Magic Kingdom. Of course, they're actually giving Magic Kingdom its own Magic Kingdom. If you see, for those watching, is its own section. But yeah, Disney is on here, but the gays aren't. Things to do, eat, drink, travel ideas, events, attractions, arts, and culture. I mean, that would be an obvious spot. I know where that was. That old fort. Some jet ski buddies toured that and did a good video of it. Black history. We have the work education, as DeSantis called it. Nothing on the gay community. And again, that was paid for. Wow. That's disappointing. So the letter, let's see if I can get this back. There we go. Okay. Boom. This was the Facebook post in a group that I take part in. It's a closed group, so I'm not going to say what the group was, which group it was. But this was the letter from Robert Keston, the executive director of the Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library. If you're not familiar or knowledgeable as to where Stonewall comes from, that is not what I wanted to do. I mean, I don't know, unless you got a pretty big TV, you're not going to see that anyway. I'll read it, and people on the radio ain't going to see it at all anyway. Stonewall is a name of a small hotel, like a townhouse, bed and breakfast maybe. There was really nothing more than a bar in New York. I forget which section, Chelsea, Soho. Oh, where did that go? There's that. I just lost the whole screen. Try it again. There we go. I don't know exactly, but it's in the neighborhoods of New York City, where 52 years ago, it was right after I was born, police did a quote-unquote routine raid on the bar because it's a gay bar. And the people that the gay community was sick of it. And so they started a riot and they fought back. And it was kind of the beginning, the court cases that followed was a beginning of a realization that there are plenty of productive and harmless people in the gay community. It's not the nasty stereotypes or accusations, not even stereotype, that is perpetrated by bigots like Ron DeSantis. And so the Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library is basically a museum. It's a group of museums, really, that highlight and educate people about the gay community. Dana Young, the CEO of Visit Florida, is being addressed by the executive director, Robert Keston, from the museum, Archives, and Library. This was, so you don't have to try to read it on your screen, or you can continue driving those on the radio. This is what he wrote. Earlier this month, Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library paid for a year's membership with Visit Florida. Just a short time ago, we learned that any and all mentions of LGBTQ plus locations and other information has been removed from your website and materials. Stonewall is one of the very few LGBTQ plus Florida headquartered organizations, and your removal of all information about our community suggests that our membership in your organization does not serve us well, nor should we be supporting any agency that does not support our community. I mean, hello, talk about transactional. If it's okay for Trump, besides, that's what your website does. It's pay to play. And these people paid. For that reason, we are asking for a full refund of our membership for 2024-2025. Your prompt attention to this matter would be very much appreciated. Sincerely, Robert Keston, Executive Director, Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library. So yeah, Ronnie's at it again. It's earlier this summer, he prohibited the bridges and state buildings from being lit up in pride colors, rainbow colors. He said it was going to be a freedom summer, and everything had to be lit up in red, white, and blue. Keep in mind, the very next month, that's exactly what they're lit up in. And he's saying we're bringing freedom, the free state of Florida. He's one of those nerdy guys that comes up with an idea and thinks it's great. The problem is he's not smart enough to realize that just because it's his idea isn't what makes it great. If, in fact, it's great at all. Like golf courses in state parks that literally nobody was for, except those who stood to make money off of it. And that developer beat feet wisely. Got another morning sauce one. This one's a can of the cold stuff. There's only one reason why somebody like Ron DeSantis does what he does. This constant anti-gay. Don't say gay. The law that was put into place. And I know some people are going to say, oh, but it's not. You don't say gay anywhere in the bill. Come on. Don't tell me that's not what it's for. When the actual teachers are scared to teach it. This is why Florida schools suck. Somebody like Ron DeSantis keeps screwing it up. But I got an idea. Let's disband the Department of Education. Because I know better. This is a guy who sat on camera looking straight into the eyes of the reporter and told that reporter that he's such a good Christian that he could see himself as having been one of the disciples. I recognize that look right away. It is one of psychosis. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Ron DeSantis. I'm saying that based on my training and experience, this dude's off his rocker. That's the clinical term. And now the state and this executive director has no idea what the hell has been banned or hasn't been. Dana Young, no clue. He or she, I don't know what Dana identifies as, is following orders. And I promise you, they're coming from Tallahassee. That's what he does. That's all he's done. Did he do anything with the insurance industry? I have to get my roof fixed because it wasn't done right when I bought the house. As a result, my mortgage and insurance are through the roof. There's probably thousands of you in a similar situation throughout Florida listening right now. I can see there's that many listening, so I'm going to go with the numbers. Has he worked on that at all? No. And in fact, as a result, entire companies or portions of them are leaving Florida because it's too much of a financial risk. Remember when current sitting First Lady Hillary Clinton, back during Bill's administration, went to Capitol Hill and said, we need to revamp our nation's healthcare system. She literally was laughed off of Capitol Hill. Now look, my guess, it can be done. Reworking something that big can be done. And maybe the Affordable Care Act is not finished yet. That's okay. That doesn't mean we just quit. I see homeowners insurance, flood insurance, hurricane insurance probably becoming one insurance. I see that's going to be managed by the federal government before I die. It's that bad. There are more than 300 properties within a mile of my house that are for sale because people can't do it. So more on this tomorrow. We're wrapping up. We're going to lose 99.1 WDJY Atlanta, as well as the America One Radio. See you all tomorrow. Have a great Labor Day. And we'll see you tomorrow.